All right, hey everybody, Jason Samko here. Sorry I'm sweating like crazy. I've made like 6 videos already. I've been out here for over an hour, and it is 98 degrees in Jacksonville, Florida, and it is sweaty and hot and humid and miserable. But today, look at this beast. I want to tell you how I would set up my Bison edition if I bought one of these, or if I were to put 35s on my ZR2 that I don't have yet. But if I were to buy a ZR2 as my next truck, and I wanted to put 35s on this, we have a major issue that we have to deal with, okay? And that issue is not, I mean, it's easy to get 35s on here. A little bit of trimming or even changing the fender flares, slight touch of wheel offset, but 35s are very doable on this truck. The problem we run into is the spare tire, okay? And I have a solution for that that serves double purpose. But you see here, we got this tire right here. This is a 33. You can see there is no room to fit. I can't get on, I'm not crawling all the way under there, but there is no room to fit a 35-inch tire in this spot underneath here. There's just not an option. Okay, so you can't do it. So since you can't fit a 35 on a ZR2 in the spare area or any Colorado, when you buy a Bison, which comes with 35s, they mount the spare tire here on this headache rack right here, and it stays right here. Now that's cool, and it sure looks nice here on the dealership lot, but I lose a lot of bed space with that rack. And then on top of that, I can't put a tonneau cover on here because of that, okay? That kind of sucks. That's kind of a major bummer. I would change this setup if it was me. So how would I do it, and what would the hidden bonus come from being able to do that? Well, first of all, what I would do is I would lose this rack completely, because I want a tonneau cover on here. Now, if I put like an RSI cap or something on there, then I would leave that, because it could stay mounted there, and I have an RSI truck bed cap in here, and you could do that if you wanted to. But if I was gonna run a tonneau cover, which is how I would probably run it, I would put 2 of those crossbars that stick up about 4 inches up and go across. I would put 2 of those crossbars pretty close here, and I would mount this spare tire horizontal on that crossbar right in the middle of the bed. So my tonneau cover, my roll-up tonneau cover, could still be here, and I could roll that tonneau cover right under there and still have full access to my bed with that mounted right up by the cab, up, you know, horizontal right here, out of the way. It would block a little bit of my view, but look how much the view is blocking already. But having that there would be out of my way and give me my whole truck bed back, and the ability to use a tonneau cover on here, okay? So that would solve my problem with the spare tire. Then what do we do with all this space? Let me let you in on a little secret that I would do. Okay, see all this? Look at what we got under here. Look at all this room. All this wasted space because we don't have a spare tire here. See that cross member right there where the spare tire goes up against that big steel cross member? Me personally, I'd be mounting a worn winch right there upside down. I'd be mounting a winch upside down on there, even if I had to put a reinforcement and bolt a couple brackets on there, but I'd put a winch right there in the middle of that, and I would have that winch cable come right through here. My license plate would be on a flip down where I could then grab that and pull my winch right through here, and it would be a flip up or flip down license plate thing with a hidden winch here that I could flip that up, reach in, grab it, and pull that right through here, and now I have a winch that I could winch myself out backwards with. Okay, if you watch Matt's off-road, or not Matt's off-road recovery, but I can't remember a guy's name, but he does Florida's off-road recovery. I'll link his stuff down below for you. But he has a Gladiator that he uses for all of his recovery stuff. He has a rear winch on it. He uses it way more than his front winch. He loves it, and he's got his set up on his Gladiator. Same thing. You remove the spare tire, and then where that member is up there, he put in a winch there, mounted upside down, and runs it out through a flip-up license plate holder right there, and this thing is amazing. Well, since you have to move the spare tire here anyway, you know, or I would, and put it up there, and you got it up here anyway, and you got all that wasted space, that is exactly where I would be putting a winch at, and I would be running it right through the license plate. They make brackets for flip down ones for that, but that's exactly how I would be setting this truck up. Spare tire mounted on there, and that way I could get full advantage of the 35s. Now the Bison package is about 10 grand more. Get you some nice features with the bumpers, still same rock sliders, still same pretty much everything, but you know, you have to do the math between a Bison edition or a ZR2, which is right, what is the best option for you. I love the Bison edition, and the fact that it is a special edition means you're going to get some extra value out of that too. And if you were to put new wheels and tires on this, you're probably looking at say $3,500 anyway. This is 10 grand more. You already got the fender flares. You got some things. So I mean, you can see that it's a tough decision all the way around. You know, they both are not too ridiculous. Look at 63 grand. Okay, right here. And we're looking at whatever this one is, but they're not that much difference in price, about 10 grand. And like I said, 9 or 10 grand. Now, the one thing you got to remember is that the ZR2, you can get more money off, okay? So you can negotiate a ZR2. There's a lot more ZR2s available, so you can negotiate this $5,000 or $6,000 off. You can't, it's a struggle to do that on a Bison. You're not gonna get quite that much of a percentage off, where this you can. So for me, I'd buy the ZR2, I'd put the wider wheels on it, I'd change the fender flares or cut them if I have to be able to make them work. I'd rather trim these ones than I would add the Bison ones. Okay, I don't want this big of a Bison fender flare. I don't like how big this is, especially on the front end, personally, okay? I'd rather be able to trim up the ones that are here on the Z70 or the ZR2 if I could, to make them work. But that's how I do the back spare tire. Would be horizontal up there, tonneau cover on there, give me full access to the bed, and a Warren winch mounted underneath so that I can drag and winch right through the back, and I don't have to put a winch on the front. It's like a win-win on every single level. Gives me those options that that we all want, and I don't have to add different spring rates. I don't have to change springs. I don't have to change to a different bumper that's winch compatible. I don't got to do nothing. It's all right there, hidden and ready to go. Now, it sucks that that winch is going to take a lot of abuse from road grime and everything like that, but don't think for a second a winch mounted on the front is any different. Okay, when you mount a winch on the front bumper, it takes all of that abuse too. Some people will say, well, that's on the front, so it's not getting all your tire spray. Yeah, true, but it's getting the tire spray on the road every single second from everybody else's vehicle you're following. So realistically, mounting one on the front and then mount one on here. This doesn't come with one either, so you got to put that mount on here, and you know, that thing's sticking out. Having that winch buried underneath there, I think, is a beautiful thing, and that's how I would do it personally. So you can set yours up any way you want. That is what I would do for mine, and how I would take advantage of the 35 package on a Bison edition and use it the way I want to. Thanks for watching.